welcome to our YouTube channel by Gnan Manjari Modern School. Our subject is Science for Standard 9. Students, in the previous video we have learned about the mineral rich soil. But this topic is cancelled from your syllabus this year. So today we will start with our next topic, that is biogeochemical cycle. Take out your textbook, students, page number 196. So there are four spheres: atmosphere, hydrosphere, lithosphere and biosphere. So there is a constant interaction between the living components and non-living components. Just like we exhale CO2. This CO2 is utilized by plant for photosynthesis, and when we inhale oxygen, which we get from plant. So in this way there is a constant interaction between the living components and non-living components on the earth, and due to this interaction some biogeological cycles are formed. In this chapter you have given four biogeochemical cycles. First of all, that is water cycle, then nitrogen cycle, carbon cycle and oxygen cycle. So this interaction is very much effective on the atmosphere, and due to this these cycles are formed, and these cycles are very essential for sustaining the life on the earth. Okay, students? A constant interaction between biotic and abiotic components of the biosphere make its dynamic. Means there is a diversity in the living beings, but a stable system. This interaction consists of transfer of matter from energy from biotic to abiotic or abiotic to biotic, and due to this these cycles are formed. So students, today out of these four cycles, first cycle is the water cycle. We will learn about that. Students, you are learning about water cycle from standard 3rd, 4th. It's very easy for you, and you are aware of this topic. Nothing new in this. Students, this chapter is very easy. Just like a general knowledge type, this chapter is. No derivations, no numericals. You don't have to remember any molecular formula. So actually this chapter is very easy and also the interesting. Okay. Now this biogeochemical cycle, the first cycle is water cycle. As we know, due to the heat of the sun, the water on the earth, we know 70% portion of the earth is covered by water. It may be salty, very little water is potable water, but all the water level on the surface is evaporated due to the heat of the sun. And due to this evaporation, the vapors formed from this water, and slowly this water goes up. And when it goes up, the temperature is less on the upper layer. So this water level, this steam or vapor get condensed, and the water droplets are formed. And there are some particles which are present in the atmosphere. Due to that, clouds are formed, and from this cloud we get water. Again, this water vapor goes up, clouds form, and again we get the water in the form of rain. But students, just note down one thing here. The heat of the sun falls on the salty water. Mainly our earth is covered by the salty water. There are oceans on the earth, means it is a salty water, saline water. And when the sun heat falls on it and it gets evaporated, so salt remains there on the surface. Only the water, potable water, evaporation start. So here when this evaporated water starts, they get condensed and we get water in the form, but they are in the water form, means in the liquid form, but it is potable water. So here actually what is the main benefit of this water cycle? This water cycle makes the saline water into fresh water, converts naturally without using any fuel, because sun is renewable source of energy. So here it is very, very beneficial for us. Okay, just I have drawn the figure here of water cycle. This is sun. Due to the sun hits on the surface water. This is surface water which is on the surface, and this water which is underground water, also the heat enters in the underground water and also it gets evaporated. So this surface water, underground water, due to the heat sun gets evaporated, and sun heat is coming from in this way. So arrow is shown here. This arrow is shown in the upward direction. So here evaporations. Therefore arrows are very important, students. Here this arrow shows that heat of the sun falls on the water, and this arrow shows the water gets evaporated and goes in the upper layer of the atmosphere. Okay, now again this sun heat falls on the trees and transpiration forms. Transpiration means excess water from the leaves are thrown in the atmosphere. So here transpiration, due to the transpiration, due to this evaporation, these clouds are formed. And when these clouds are formed, again we get the rain in the form of we get water in the form of a rain, or sometimes in the form of snow. So here both arrows are shown here. These arrows are it has its own importance. Here these are two arrows, one is downward, one is upward, and here these are the arrows, and we are getting the water in the form of rain again back to the earth. Again this water is utilized by the human being, by all the animals. It can be utilized for the irrigation, and excess water again enters in the sea, so it becomes salty, and some water is stored as the underground water. It's very important. So this underground water is a potable water. It can be used for irrigation, and it can be stored where there is a crisis of water, potable water. So this is very important, students. So from there, by the borewell, by pumping, this water can be taken out from the earth. Okay. So in this way, this cycles goes on from underground water, or from we can say sea water. This evaporation takes place, it goes up, clouds form, and again we are getting the rain. So these cycles continuously go on. Students, in India we are having the seasons, different seasons. In the summer, due to the strong heat, evaporation start, and it takes 3-4 months, and in the month of about June, July, we are getting the rain. So this cycle is continuous throughout the year. So this is about the water cycle. This is the figure, and I have written here the points in a short. You can write like this in the exam also. If it is asked, water from different bodies get evaporated due to sunset. Different bodies means from the plants, from the underground water, or from the surface water. The hot air rises up with this water vapor. Okay. Third point, water vapor condense. Condense means from vapor it get converted into the liquid form, and clouds and big water droplets and clouds are formed. Now, rainwater falls from the cloud, that we know. Students, we are learning from lower standard. The rainwater re-enters the water bodies. Again, it re-enters in the water bodies, process in which water evaporates, falls on the land as a rain, and later flows back into the sea. So again it converted into the salty water. So in this way the cycle goes on, and this cycle is called water cycle. So this is the very easy and first biogeochemical cycle. Okay students, just draw this figure, it's very easy, and just note down these points. Then we will go for the next cycle. Okay, just note down this. Students, second very important biogeochemical cycle is nitrogen cycle. Today we will also learn about this nitrogen cycle. We know that there is a 78% nitrogen in our atmosphere. Means there is a very big proportion of nitrogen in air. But then only plants and animals can't use that free nitrogen directly. And also the nitrogen is very important for the growth of the plants. So this nitrogen is not directly used by the plants and animals. First of all, this nitrogen is, when converted into nitrates and nitrites, then it can be utilized by the plants and the animals. Okay, so 78% nitrogen is there, but when it converted into nitrites and nitrates, then only plants and animals can use this. Now how this 78% nitrogen, means proportion of nitrogen, is converted into its compounds, means nitrates and nitrites. Students, there are two main processes by which this nitrogen converts into its compounds. One by the bacteria, means we can say it is a biological process. So bacteria, there are some plants, like a leguminous plant. So on the roots there are nodes. In these nodes their bacteria are there, and this bacteria fixes the nitrogen from the atmosphere. So these and then convert into nitrites and nitrates. So here this is called the biological process. And secondly, by the lightning. When the thunder, lightning is there, much low pressure is created, tremendous heat is produced, and due to this nitrogen, it gets converted into nitrogen oxide, and then it converts into nitrates and nitrites. So here I have written some important words here. First of all, nitrogen fixation. So nitrogen fixation is by two processes, by biological process, means by bacteria. So bacteria fix the atmospheric nitrogen, and then only plant can utilize that nitrogen for its growth. And secondly, by physical process, means lightning. During the lightning, tremendous heat is produced and high pressure is produced, and due to this nitrogen is converted into its compounds, and then it is utilized by the animals and plants. So here I have written some important words here. And then ammonification. Ammonification means these compounds of nitrites are utilized for the growth, and for the growth protein is essential, means it is utilized to form a protein, and this protein is again converted into ammonia. This process is called ammonification. And the third, denitrifying. What is denitrifying? Means the compounds of the nitrogen is again converted into the nitrogen and it released in the atmosphere. So again this process is called denitrification. Fixation is called nitrification, and the release of nitrogen from its compound is called denitrification. So nitrification and denitrification are the opposite process, and due to this biogeochemical cycle, means nitrogen cycle is formed, and it is very essential for the growth of the plant. Students, I have drawn this cycle on the board. It is given in your textbook also. Take out page number 198. First of all, nitrogen in atmosphere. So fixation of nitrogen takes place in the green plants by the bacteria, and also it is utilized by the protoplasm of animals. Again this forms a protein, and again it converted into ammonia. This process is called ammonification. Already I have written here. This ammonia means due to the process of ammonification, ammonia is produced. Again it gives the nitrates and then nitrites and then free nitrogen in the atmosphere. So this cycle we can say is going on in the atmosphere. Again here nitrification, there are not a single way from this to this, we can't say. 2 or 3 ways are there. So this is somewhat complicated, but nothing is hard, it's easy. Atmospheric and industrial fixation. So due to the sometimes due to the industrial products, nitrogen is fixed and it is also utilized by the plant. Nitrification, again nitrites, and then denitrification. Nitrification and denitrification are different process. For the nitrification, just you have to remember this much thing. For nitrification, nitrogen is converted into nitrates and nitrites by 2 ways. Then these nitrates and nitrites are useful for production of protein. This protein is utilized by the plants and animals for their growth. Then it converted into ammonia is called ammonification. Then after that ammonification, again the decomposition takes place. It converted into nitrites and nitrates, and from this again we are getting the nitrogen. In this way this nitrogen cycle goes on. Okay. Again students, I have written here some points for nitrogen cycle. Free nitrogen from atmosphere is converted into nitrates by bacteria or lightning. Bacteria is a biological process, lightning is a physical process. So plants or animals can't use the free nitrogen in the atmosphere. Okay. Number 2, nitrates mixed with soil is absorbed by the plant to make the proteins. So it is absorbed, this nitrogen is absorbed by the plants and forms the protein, and protein is essential for growth of the plant. This protein in the plant and animals are converted into amino acids and ammonia. Again it is converted in amino acids or ammonia. Ammonia is converted into nitrates and nitrates again, means from nitrogen to nitrates and nitrites. That protein, amino acid. Then we can say ammonia, and again it converted into nitrates and nitrites. These nitrates and nitrites are converted into the nitrogen by denitrifying bacteria. So nitrifying bacteria means bacteria which fixes the nitrogen in the soil from atmosphere, and denitrifying means the bacteria which releases the nitrogen in the atmosphere back. So this process goes on. This is called nitrogen cycle. It is very important biogeochemical cycle. Okay students, so this is about 2 cycles we have learned today. Now students, time for homework. As you know, what will be the homework? Just the draw and explain nitrogen cycle and water cycle. Very easy. So homework for today students. With figure and short note on water cycle. Students, I have rubbed this figure because it is already given in your textbook, but just you have to write this point which I have wrote here. So this is, you have to write this. It's enough for the short note of nitrogen cycle, and this is the homework. Okay students, bye, take care, and just note down this point. Don't forget to note down this. Okay, bye, take care, note down these points and also the homework.